Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. Locally heavy rain, thunderstorms, and flooding are possible over the next few days in parts of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, from portions of the Four Corners into the drought-stricken southern plains. Hurricane Lee remains a large and powerful storm several hundred miles south of Bermuda. It's going to affect the East Coast with dangerous surf and life-threatening rip currents for the remainder of this week. Closer to home, scattered and numerous showers and storms will continue today and decrease tomorrow through the end of the week. Again, the main threat with the storms today will be small hail, gusty winds, and moderate to heavy rain, with a flooding threat continuing, but it will spread more across the entire area. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. At last night's City Commission meeting, Rick Holden was selected and confirmed as city manager.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Carl Melton.
Aye.
Nick Paul.
Aye.
Stephen Burnett.
Aye.
Josh Reardon.
Aye.
Sharon McDonald.
Aye.
Dusty Wright.
Aye.
Susan Payne.
Aye.
He was elected by the commission and mayor 7-0. You can check out the entire meeting on the city's YouTube channel. The Otero County Commission will meet tomorrow in a special session at 5 p.m. to discuss the actions of New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham relating to her signed emergency order banning both open and concealed firearms in Bernalillo County. She calls it a health risk, and that set off a stream of backlash as well as legal challenges. We heard from County Commissioner Amy Barella.
There will be a resolution considered Thursday at 5 o'clock to address the governor's actions.
The Republican Party of Otero County held a Second Amendment rally on Monday, which resulted in around 25-30 people in attendance, including the mayor of Alamogordo, Susan Payne, county leaders, and others speaking in what became more of a meeting format to discuss their concerns and dissent with the governor's actions. The Republican Party of New Mexico has filed suit on the governor's actions. More on that in a bit. Multiple documents, including the resolution proposed by Commissioner Barella, and it will be discussed tomorrow, has been posted on AlamogordoTownNews.com. State Representative John Block posted an attack on a group of individuals who met for a training session on how to canvass and how to register individuals to vote. Although members of the dissolved Democratic Party of Otero County attended, this meeting was hosted not by Democrats, but by individuals wanting to expand their voter outreach and education. Is that not a right of the people? Free speech and assembly? I seem to remember reading that somewhere. Anyway, the meeting was hosted by the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. That's a church that uses guidance from personal experience, such as prophetic utterances, world religions, Jewish and Christian teachings, humanist teachings, and spiritual teachings while rejecting the Holy Trinity, which, fun fact, does not appear at any time in the Holy Bible. Representative Block referred to the church as a leftist organization. Block also invoked the Johnson Amendment of 1954, which prohibits all 501c3 nonprofit organizations from endorsing or opposing political candidates. To my knowledge, the church did not endorse any such person. For the record, I like John, although we did have a falling out here a while back due to my association with my employer. I guess alliances can be broken by working for whomever employs you, I guess. But a Christian man attacking a church is deeply disturbing. I would have to ask Block if any member of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship ever attacked him or his beliefs. And as for churches being involved in politics, we don't have that kind of time. The asphalt drive entrance into Alameda Park Zoo at 14th Street and White Sands Boulevard was supposed to be completed on Monday, then changed to yesterday, but now they say will be fixed today.
That trench is behind the zoo on the entrance of the Alameda Park. It should not affect anything with the zoo at all.
Please be aware that various city vehicles and equipment, orange barrels, increased signage, and or occasional flagmen could be present. This coming Saturday is the annual Balloon Glow at the 30th White Sands Balloon Invitational. That's going to be Saturday at 6 p.m. Details can be located on the City of Alamogordo Facebook page. The annual Veterans Day Parade is just around the corner.
We have contacted the Chamber of Commerce, and the application form is on their website, and you can fill it out online and just, leave it with them, or you can download it and fax it to them, or you can drop it off at the Chamber of Commerce.
Richard McElderry speaking with Crazy Radio. Well, today is Wednesday. Let's go now for our weekly report from Love Inc. with Susan Payne.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Susan with Love Inc. of Otero County. Just a reminder to everybody that on October 21st, we are holding our annual golf tournament. We are still looking for sponsors, and of course, we're always looking for players. If you play golf or are interested, this is a great tournament for you because it's pretty non-competitive. So if you just like to play golf but you're not real competitive, this is the one for you. You can get more information by calling the golf course or call us at 575-439-4812. Also, we are still doing P&M Good Neighbor Fund. We were super busy yesterday and continue to be, and we appreciate our partnership with P&M and being able to provide that service for you. So if you have an electric bill you need help with, there is some criteria that you do have to meet. Pretty simple stuff. Just give us a call, and we'll see if we can get you assistance with that electric bill. Our food pantry, of course, remains busy, and now we have started up our backpack program for the year, our school bag program, and we are looking for donations for that. There should be some flyers going around social media, and if you have a group or a civic organization and you would like to do a food drive for that, we would welcome that. We are doing close to 250 bags a week this year, and we are working hard to make sure that we're providing those for the most critical needs. But, you know, times are tough right now. Groceries have gone up, and so we feel like we're targeting those kids that need it the most. So if you would like to help with that, again, give us a call, 575-439-4812. Until next week, Alamogordo and Otero County, have a blessed week.
News from around the state in just a moment. You're listening to Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
AlamogordoTownNews.com is a locally owned website featuring local news matters from a local perspective that affects you, and we bring it to you directly. Plus, local sports, cultural arts, and events. Online, AlamogordoTownNews.com. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
If you're not going to stand up for these kids and really test as hard as you can, getting fewer guns and dealing with gun violence in a meaningful way, then you're basically saying that you won't be responsible to protect the citizens of the state. Well, I will, and I will do everything in my power to turn the tide and to make sure every New Mexican, particularly children, are safe.
No, Governor, nobody wants to see kids hurt. Come on. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham posted on Twitter, or X, or whatever, quote, I would love to see the same outrage from Republicans when a child in New Mexico was killed by gun violence. It's unfortunate that they are taking this opportunity to spew NRA talking points instead of proposing meaningful legislative solutions on how we can make New Mexico safer, close quote. Well, Governor, I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a member of the NRA. And how about the multiple members of your own party denouncing you over this? District attorneys, sheriffs, police departments are refusing to endorse your mandate. Even New Mexico DA Raul Torres says no. Plus, your use of children as a way to circumvent the Constitution is absolutely disgusting. What gives you that right?
If there's an emergency, and I've declared an emergency for a temporary amount of time, I can invoke additional powers. No constitutional right, in my view, including my oath, is intended to be absolute.
Oh, yeah. About that. Lawsuits continue to pile up against the governor's open and concealed carried ban. The Republican Party of New Mexico is now jumping into the legal battle. They're not only challenging the governor, but also the Department of Health.
Somebody has to be a voice for the people, and we will do that.
Republican Party of New Mexico Chairman and former Congressman Steve Pierce states that the GOP has a lawsuit against MLG that hits today.
We're here for maybe the most important issue of our lifetime. The issue is one person above the law.
No.
I think we're here with the demonstration that no one is above the law.
Pierce claims the governor is overreaching her authority by using the state's public health order law to associate guns with health problems. The GOP's lawsuit is the 7th Lawsuit filed against the governor's orders, which is set to last through October 8th. Alexis Smith, the mother charged in the fentanyl overdose and death of her 12-year-old son Brent, faced the jury yesterday. Smith and her mother Kelly Smith are facing child abuse charges resulting in death. In opening arguments, prosecuting attorney Megan Kirtley argued the case is really about parenting.
Ms. Smith knew that she herself had a drug problem. You're going to hear that she knew her child, Brent Sullivan, was using her drugs.
The state presented its argument on why Smith should be found guilty of intentional child abuse resulting in death. In September of 2021, first responders rushed to a Carlsbad shed where 12-year-old Brent Sullivan was found unresponsive after overdosing on fentanyl.
CPR started.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Come on, buddy.
Come on, Brent. Come on, baby.
Carlsbad police officer Chris Austin described the event.
Unresponsive. They were performing CPR, a lifeless body. And again, when the EMT was carrying the child out, the arms, legs were hanging off of his arms.
Prosecutors argued that Smith knew her son was using drugs and highlighted the boy's previous overdoses, stating that Smith failed to protect her son or get him help after ODing twice before, the third fateful time. Smith's defense attorney, Todd Holmes, argued that fentanyl is the problem and said Smith is a good person suffering from addiction. He also argued that the state cannot prove that Brent got the deadly fentanyl from his mother's stash.
So where Brent got fentanyl, who knows? On September 28th, when he went to the shed on that fateful day.
If convicted, Smith faces life in prison. Her mother, Kelly Smith, is set to go to trial in November for child abuse charges in the same case. A Texas man has filed a lawsuit against former President Donald Trump and New Mexico Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver, which seeks to remove Trump from the New Mexico Republican primary election and the 2024 presidential ballot in the state. Like others across the nation, the lawsuit cites the 14th Amendment. Officials are warning New Mexicans of a new scam that targets property owners. Scammers are sending fake delinquency letters demanding payment. So far, the scam letters have been sent in Donna Ana and Cibola counties. The Taxation and Revenue Department says the scams direct people to call an 800 number, as well as possibly threaten the state will seize their property and wages. The Tax Department says they do not try to collect unpaid property taxes when county tax officials deem a property delinquent. If you have a question whether or not a letter or official from the New Mexico Taxation and Revenue Department is legitimate, you're invited to contact the department directly. Sports and weather are next. You're listening to Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
This weekend, safety and security will be top of mind when the Lobos and the Aggies face off for the first big matchup between the two teams since the fatal shooting on the UNM campus late last year, which left a UNM student dead and an NMSU basketball player injured.
We take a lot of pride in doing the whole game atmosphere, the whole game experience to the best of our ability. Safety and security is always a top priority.
Eddie Nunez, the UNM athletics director. The violence was the result of a brawl which broke out at last year's football game. In volleyball today, Navajo Prep at Gallup, Pecos at Mora, Silver at Safford. In football tomorrow, a non-varsity opponent goes to Cloudcroft, and Capitan visits a non-varsity opponent. That named a couple of games. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for showers and storms being likely. Partly cloudy tonight with a 30% chance of more showers and storms. Sunny tomorrow with a 20% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in the basin, 81. Low tonight, 58. High tomorrow, 85 degrees. In Cloudcroft, showers and storms are likely. Partly cloudy tonight with a 40% chance of showers and storms. Sunny tomorrow with a 50% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 61, low tonight of 43, high tomorrow 63 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.com, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. We've also launched the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel, which features our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.